Me revoilà, on va pouvoir continuer l'aventure Disco Elysium. Hop. Ah, il y a ça. Ah oui, c'est ok, d'accord. Tiens, réflexion, réaction activée. Ah, c'est les tâches, ok. Hop, continue. Hop. La dernière fois, on s'est arrêté après avoir exploré autour du pendu. Et analysé le pendu, justement, hop. Et fallait trouver un moyen de comment le faire descendre. Donc ça, on avait exploré. Ça, on avait vu. La voiture, on a déjà fait. C'est qui ça?
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
Il faut de la pétanque, putain.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions.
Je ne vais pas d'abord
Shoot
demander les
first.
règles du jeu.
Ask. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Je veux d'abord les observer.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
Ça me jette une boule en mettant en direction d'une autre petite voie. Ça me l'a attend avant mettre.
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
Temps de mesurer le lancer.
I hope you pass out from it. You goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
Ah la vache.
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already.
Une seconde, quelle équipe?
Does it matter what team? Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them down. Get in the game and throw the goddamn ball.
Pourquoi es-tu si méchant avec moi?
Eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Encore un lancer haut, je ne veux pas être tenté. Allez, on va tenter. On réussit. Ah non, ça
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. You'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen.
Nous sommes la boule, il faut sentir la boule.
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it. Probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity.
Examinez
The
les
man ball is ready.
L'homme boule, examinez les alentours.
A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball.
Il y a encore du temps pour une ultime introspection, qui suis-je?
An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. Behold the fear and confusion reflecting in the eyes of the two feeble geezers. They are in awe of your superiority. You are a god to them. Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
Encore un temps mais je suppose qu'on va dépasser ce stade-là à ce présent. C'est pas plus difficile de compenser l'inertie que ça ne l'est avec une balle de revolver. Relax, la balle, c'est toi. Oh putain.
Merde! Bordel de merde! bastard! What the hell is your problem?
C'est pas mal ces triceps, Fedora, j'ai un problème, je comprends pas. Justement, j'ai de la piste juste ça, pourquoi ça me poserait des problèmes?
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
A man his age getting worked up like that? Better watch that blood pressure.
Vous pouvez perdre, non, c'est une partie serrée entre vous deux, même second, vous êtes sur le podium.
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 poules.
C'est une simple sans rancune. À la pétanque.
Yes, pétanque. You ruined our pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
You are an officer of the law, with way more important things to worry about than bowls. Don't take this crap.
Bon, je vais essayer d'arranger ça.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now why did you approach us?
Just talk. It'll smooth things over. Old people like attention.
Allez, c'est tout. Savez-vous quelque chose chez de l'homme pendu à la cour arrière de Wingling in Rag?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
Et la plupart des gens du coin?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
Et vous n'avez aucun problème avec les flics?
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
Encore une fois, vous ne savez rien du tout.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
On dirait que vous jouez dans un cratère.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Oh, la neige est stylée par contre. Vous savez qui a créé ça?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Ah, d'accord, c'est un cratère causé par l'artillerie. Mais pourquoi?
Why what?
Pourquoi l'artillerie a été utilisée?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Une seconde, c'est qui déjà les communards?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Ah, il y a l'artillerie sur eux?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Pourquoi il doit avoir bombardé ici à Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
La tête de pont.
Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generations.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Un sang, c'est triste.
This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Ah, ça explique toute cette destruction.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
He approves of this radical approach, knows it was necessary.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Hey Vachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Mais si, on a l'air de savoir de s'y prendre en fait, les cocos ne comprennent rien à l'économie.
No, they don't. But I'm sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting rabid commies, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Mais parler de Guillaume.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
C'est qui ce Frissel?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
Quoi exactement, suzerain?
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already.
Soon, they will forget everything. Him too. Then he chooses anger over melancholy.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's borders when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Vas-y, on va tenter 100 francs, 3% de chance.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't
Ça
worry.
a pris le temps de répondre aux questions.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
D'où vient-elle?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Ça existe, les flics super ça?
What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rockstar politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish.
Mon portrait craché, je forge seulement ma légende ces derniers temps.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights.
Non, va te faire foutre la discussion fiction. Hop là. T'es où mes pieds? J'ai pièces et endommagées et utilisables. Ok. Il est plus de 13h, je vais aller voir si c'est... Oh tiens, attends, c'est quoi ça? Les gars ont l'air d'avoir été provoqués par un tremblement de terre. C'est un monstre marin qui a laissé la place dans cet état. J'ai envie de voir si on peut accéder à la cuisine vu qu'il est au-delà de 13h. Je crois que c'était voilà, c'est à partir de 13h qu'on peut y accéder. Ça, il est en train de sécher. Une odeur de produits chimiques dans le pied, on est mal.
A thin man is smoking below, and
Merde.
as you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Goransi and Kubek. It must be his name. Goransi. Goransi Kubek. Sounds representative.
Monsieur... Non, je rassurerai quelques temps pour quelques questions.
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Et de belles casseroles.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
C'était viril. Un d'épices, ok. Oh. Merde. Hop là.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
C'est de pousser la
The
porte.
door does not budge. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side.
On me met cette
You
porte.
do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
C'est vrai, c'est pas important. Tiens, on
The
dit.
door stands silent, unmoved by your words. You still feel like you should look into it if you get the chance.
Ok.
You see a
On va parler avec lui, voir si on peut demander où que ça mène la porte. Hop.
Can I help you?
C'est la clé de votre benne.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Je vais retrouver le vêtement de la victime.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Est-ce qu'un parmi les employés aurait pu les poser là?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Vous me rappelez peut-être plus, vous êtes peut-être somnambule ou dans la seconde.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer.
Qui d'autre possède les clés de la benne?
The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out.
No?
They look at the container, despondently. CSM is written on their backs.
Ah non, c'est différent, ok.
Thank you anyway.
Ah, c'est changeant, je
Yes.
J'ai vu quelque chose de Wailing Gate, c'est une chose... il faut que je vous parle.
What thing?
Une panneau indiquant que le réfectoire a été réservé au syndicat. Ce porte-bleu en acier au fond de la cuisine.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a
C'est-
door.
Vous savez ce qu'il y a derrière avec vous?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's
Parce que-
absolutely not convincing.
Je pense que vous aimeriez savoir ce qui se cache là derrière.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
J'ai vu un panneau indiquant que le réfectoire était réservé au syndicat.
Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
He hates the Union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
Dommage que c'est obligé de copiner avec le syndicat pour garder la tête hors de l'eau.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service, or really facilitating the offering of services to paying customers, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself to you.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
Comment on peut les trouver?
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
Je vais vous demander autre chose.
What?
By the way, You should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Ah, c'est uniquement encore autre chose au whirling. Ah non. Ok, on va ressortir. Hop. Putain, l'exploration qui met 3 ans. Hop. Tellement de tâches à faire. Hop. Hop là. Vers en point nord, ok. Appartement, ok. Après, c'est écrit, il fallait briser, tu vas pas, c'est en place.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Regarde à l'intérieur.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
Concentré sur l'arrière-plan.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower.
Okay.
The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
Pauvre petit télézoom.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Hop. Si vous avez un sac, vous pourrez récupérer peut-être des bouteilles. Oh merde, ouais. Peu de sac.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle, while your money disappears into the coin slot. A plunk, the ring of metal, the curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Tournez la bague pour faire la mise au point.
The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
Ah.
Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
On dirait un bâtiment en ruine là.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Accroche-toi petit.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
Ok. Fais gaffe. Fais ce que tu veux pour ton hic. Alors, normalement j'ai un sac maintenant. On va voir. Objet, outils. Oui. On va ramasser les récipients consignés et trouver dans la rue. Hop. Hop. Est-ce que je peux ramasser? Oui. Et en plastique consigné, verre en bouteille consigné. Allez, on est écolo. Hop. Hop. Let's go. Policier avant tout. Merde. On entend les cris des mouettes au loin. Coup de gamin, quand on me trouve, on me cherche. Un criblé de balles. Rien ici. Et oui. Corto. Pas mal de trucs à explorer. Je pense qu'on va aller plutôt au sud d'abord. On va aller visiter aussi le... Ah, qu'est-ce que j'ai vu qui était là? Merde. Un érotique, mission scène érotique. Ah, dommage. Hop. Ça gratte l'œil. Hop. Madame.
Welcome to Crime, Romance and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Hmm.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
D'accord.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Ah, que j'oublie. Plutôt l'air de rouler sur l'or. Pouvez-vous me filer un peu d'argent? Je n'aurai sans doute pas l'occasion de vous demander plus tard. Un rôle de bandit, il faut porter la piste mystérieusement les yeux.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
Et le propriétaire de cette boutique?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers.
Une fille d'ailleurs nous a
It
dit
doesn't
que cet endroit était maudit.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
Doesn't feel like it's thriving. Feels ghostly.
Votre fille, c'est celle qui est plantée dehors, exact?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Oui, bien sûr.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Oui.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Je me dis, si vous avez été contraint d'acheter après leur
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
L'opinion de sa fille dépend de sa capacité et si vous poussez en... Elle était très polie et serviable.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Oui, montre l'économie libérale et abolir le travail de l'enfant, d'accord. Je n'approuve pas votre façon de vous servir d'elle.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Ah, quelle connasse. Abolir le travail de
You
l'enfant.
must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
Ça dépend, vous la payez combien?
Good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her, as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Aïe aïe aïe.
Slap the cuffs on her.
Vous réprimandez sévèrement pour vos activités illicites.
Oh, of course, officer. Good work. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here.
D'accord, je
Right.
rentre ici.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
Voilà, chère dealeuse de bouquins. Aïe aïe aïe. Alcool, ok. Hop là. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a là-dedans?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Inspectez la pile d'accessoires pour le jeu
An
Wirral.
endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition.
Ok.
There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Quelque chose qui m'attire vraiment.
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A
25
sticker
réal,
on it
putain.
displays 25 real. Nonsense for anemic Beano-clads.
Des années pour mieux que des petits. Je vous emmerde, je vous emmerde.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere.
Inspectez les livres sur étagère.
Rows and rows of Hyamdala men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyamdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyamdal, Return to Hyamdal. And the solipsistic Man from Hyamdal and the Hyamdal Man. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyamdal novels.
Qu'est-ce que ça va de ces livres matière, intermédiaire?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. your eye starts twitching.
Ah, c'est quoi ça?
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hjelmdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man.
Ok.
She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hjelmdala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjelmdal and the Devil Woman.
Alors non, on va pas être un connard. Intéressant.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjelmdal
Putain, 9
novels.
réels, fuck. Hop. Niveau bonbon et... ok. Magazine, notamment des notes ensemble, ok. 7 National Art, sa base, ok.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Qu'a-t-il à ça d'eau?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Examine l'étrange bloc en forme de cage.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye
Fais de la
sockets
sorcellerie ou quoi?
stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time.
Voilà, rien pour le moment. Hop. Huh.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Le bon flic. Inspecter les livres sur
Crime
les
fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police
qui
officers.
descendent des bouteilles d'alcool.
These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Seigneur, non.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels.
Ok. Sauvegarde automatique étrange, brochure, bon, livre dommage, ok. Un livre intitulé Magie fasciste, intitulé. Et voir, bon, quelqu'un s'en débarrasser ici.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Par quoi à l'étagère?
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Intéressant.
Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
Ok.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner.
Ok.
The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction.
Ok.
To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
Et à l'ouest de la rivière.
Hudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
Ok.
You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock and close to Coal City.
Ok. Regarde la carte de Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says
Non, 51, je sais
48.
plus.
Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Ah, la carte de l'Insulinde.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme,
Île de Fantôme,
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos,
Face à la
North
mer.
Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Savoir les yeux. Est-ce qu'on voit les villes sur les
You
îles?
can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas.
Ok.
Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called.
Ok.
Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods. But looking at them makes you feel
Ah oui, d'accord,
almost
17.
non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust.
Pourquoi j'ai acheté ces cartes?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Oh, est-ce que Martinez coûte-t-elle si peu cher?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
Que s'est-il passé?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All
Acheter
these
la
ruins are bad for business.
carte de Martinez.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Ok. On ne sait jamais, ça peut être utile si on a besoin des anciens plans. Mettez la bougie dans l'inventaire à l'aide du bouton interagir.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately
Tracé à l'intérieur sur la
put
grille.
your finger moves through the various streets. Across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Journal, carte. Ok. Ah si, on s'est blanc trouvé si... peut les tenter à nouveau, ok. On va trouver s'ils sont là, on peut les tenter à nouveau, ok. Ok. La mécanique difficile, ok. On va essayer de le voler.
Several maps have been... The maps look old and...
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not? I'm sorry, officer. They're quite valuable. That old thing, from when some design... They didn't get that far.
Non, je peux pas les voler. Je ne peux pas les voler. Hop. Sauvegarde rapide. J'ai pas envie de voir ce qu'il y a derrière.
The curtains.
Nothing.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away
Ouvrir
from...
les rideaux.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
Comment ça?
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
C'est propos de la malédiction, c'est de ça que vous avez peur.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
Voilà, mais c'est différent. Je suis agent de police, j'ai besoin d'entrer là-dedans.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
On commence à vous chemin comme pour avaler sans faire parler.
I am sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
J'ai l'impression que cet endroit veut me mettre à tirer. Je dois enquêter du seuil.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
En fille, je ne m'arrêterai pas.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Lies. Rip them open, we say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Déchiré.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Ok, est-ce que je peux... objet... Outils... Ok... Cette fantomatique de sèche-cheveux... Portrait d'un homme vaguement androgyne. Simple coup d'œil coupe les cheveux et menace votre masculinité.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
Je frappe à la porte.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Défoncer la porte. Oh, est-ce que j'ai échoué? Est-ce que j'ai réussi? Oh, je vais me casser la gueule. Oh putain.
Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Ah, c'est bien, je vais être encore aider de souffrir du sang. Voilà, frotter le feu.
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
What is going on there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits, or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, covered in dozens of little charms and trinkets. That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to suck. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear. It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a calm, only an echo.
Est-ce que je peux équiper hop.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered.
Merde, non, on va partir. J'avais un autre... Une personne sans accepter de mettre sa tête dans une machin pareil. Ok. Vous avez pas la clé par hasard, madame?
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to
Non, j'ai
accomplish, you
défoncé la
fool?
porte en utilisant sa force. Non, de savoir quel secret se cache à cette porte. Une étape dans la quête
You're
spirituelle.
only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at the books. Go to...
Ok. Ouais. On prend mon sachet de canettes recyclées et T'as pas la clé, toi, gamine?
Every snowflake is like a little gift from the...
Oui, non, t'as pas la clé. Hop. Allez hop, on prend tout, hop. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a par ici? Un arbre. C'est une fontaine, et plus plus d'eau, un arbre poussé à l'intérieur. Ok. Trois pneus mènent sur le toit, la boue et la pluie ont presque effacé. Qu'est-ce donc que cela? Oh, un extincteur. Nous a fait, ah non. Boutique de prêteurs sur gage, genre 2-3 temps de mouvement. Ah, peut-être que lui je pourrais lui vendre les bouteilles. Tant de machines en caisse enregistreuse. Bus de femmes, est inscrit sur la plaque. Facteur en d'obscurité.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Mécanique intermédiaire, vous tombez sur une figure vraiment cool dans une boîte sur la table.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Et ça?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too.
Oh,
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. Yes. Buy something. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Qui sont-ils?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
Respectez les tuniques bleues.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
On dirait René, le vieil homme qui joue à pétanque.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Oh, tranché. Qui sont-ils exactement?
Which one? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
Respectez les figurines en rayon.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Bâton, d'accord. Ce sont des soldats?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers.
Ouais.
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
Je préfère que ce soit plus nuancé en actuel, je peux pas te mentir.
I don't like either set very much, to be honest. but there are many parents among my customers.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys.
Ok. Hop. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a ici? Entièrement des vêtements militaires, ok.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Pourquoi le revers du regard?
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
C'est un réverbère?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
Où l'avez-vous déniché?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
Combien pour le réverbère?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Ouais.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
Ah, en tenant compte du risque pris pour récupérer, c'est pas vraiment donné. C'est un peu correct, j'imagine que ça n'a pas été facile de s'y laver.
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy and sell something so extraordinary.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Mettre sur la pointe des pieds pour me voir.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved.
Okay.
This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Vous êtes certain que ce matos fonctionne parfaitement?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
Dites, lecteur authentique là.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Ce qui m'intéresse non, c'est est-ce que c'est pratique à transporter pour un policier?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that.
Like a beach party. With sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Merci pour la clarification, Roy.
For sure. It's a consumer.
Ok, est-ce que je peux lui vendre une bouteille?
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the
Ouais,
shop.
cette scène avant, on manque tellement d'effectifs dans ces quartiers.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Parfait, futur intérêt. Je crois qu'une marchandise précédente sur les plus de saveur que le business plan part dans tous les sens. Et c'est sacrée collection en effet.
It keeps me entertained.
Okay.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Utilité défoncée, qui est-il celui qui l'a pris, qu'a-t-il pris?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward? Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Pyrolidon, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
C'est moi, on crève de chaud ici.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
Dis-moi, que signifie ce triangle sur votre gilet?
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take Perolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Continue à en prendre pour le plaisir de l'esprit à descente, c'est pas contradictoire. Des copies populaires, c'est quoi ça?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
Dis-moi un peu plus sur cette brigade de secours, c'est parti. C'est nettoyer les déchets radioactifs. Comment avez-vous retrouvé Potter sur gage?
The clean-up happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it.
Okay.
So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
Merci pour votre aide.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement. Not...
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Quelque chose avant.
Let me have a look.
Photo officielle dans le cas avec moi, non. Je vais vérifier dans les poches. Accéder au menu Potter sur
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Ah, je peux pas vendre les... Ok. Rien à vendre pour le moment.
Another time, perhaps.
En revanche, on pourrait être utile dans notre enquête.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Que savez-vous de la raison de pendaison?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
Pourriez m'aider à décrocher un corps dans
The
l'arbre?
corpse behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to help.
Faites tout ce que
The
j'ai.
pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Pourriez-vous, par hasard, des revolvers comme ceux portés par les policiers et les citoyennes?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Oh, merde.
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Pas si je vous ai vendu mon flingue.
You...
With Kim here too? That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions.
Putain, j'ai
The
donné mon arme.
unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
J'ai l'impression que vous me cachez quelque chose.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
Je suis dans quel état?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then...
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
Une seconde, quand vous m'avez donné pour le flingue?
15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice.
Non, elle nous a faire ce spectacle. Avant, je n'en parle plus.
No apologies necessary, officer.
C'est aussi quelqu'un de la police?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Elle doit faire partie, elle veut peut-être jouer les justiciers, prouver qu'elle peut, non. Si elle lui prenait l'envie de commettre un crime et de faire porter le chapeau à la mise citoyenne.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Vous savez où je peux trouver cette personne?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from
putain.
or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Au moins je sais comment j'ai perdu mon arme de poing. Parlons d'autre chose.
Of course.
Je vais parler de mon arme qui a disparu. Non. Je le suis à fouetter. On se tire. Ok. Alors service barré, tu m'entends? Est-ce que vêtements? Non, en électrochimie. Est-ce que affinité mécanique? Ok.
Good day to you, officers.
Ok.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock,
L'air de me
carving
connaître.
up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal. His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
Commençons par le commencement. Qu'est-ce que vous faites ici, mon brave?
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating this salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer?
C'est où ce qui a causé ces dégâts?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershoal.
Okay.
The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
C'est ce qu'il y a le long de la côte?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
Okay.
Yeah, not really much else.
Est-ce que je
Just
pourrais avoir
bombed
un
out
peu de saucisson
ruins.
montrer sa nourriture?
Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Non, on considère l'offre pendant sans plus décider accepter quand une tranche fait port de sa bouche. Très bien, au revoir. Hop.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque.
Okay.
This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Tiens, lever vers le haut.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
Lâchez le levier.
A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Ok, mercredi matin. Cherchez votre arme. Fermez l'écluse mercredi. Ok. Il y a plusieurs jours intéressants. Réalisation stéphanique d'entreprise. Ok. Contrôle le pont mobile. L'arche c'est le Jagou. Le gain ainsi les attendement réconfortante. On va prendre toutes les bouteilles. Hop. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose à dire, Kim?
Yes?
Non, rien de plus. Ok.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic, the kind of plastic that melts in the sun.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing...
No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang, bang! You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
Hop. Privilège la qualité.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Trouve quelque chose d'intéressant au milieu de ces vieilles fringues.
No good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around the waist. They itch like hell. The itch is so bad you'll want to smash someone's face in.
All natural materials, see? Real wool, 100% skin friendly, and they're yours for only 2 reals.
C'est blanc, améliorez votre sang-froid grâce à des points de talent. C'est quoi?
You see 2 lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra serious.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Okay.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found ultras atop them.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
Et le haut-parleur, quelqu'un s'intéresse à ces haut-parleurs?
These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
Je peux acheter les haut-parleurs Samarin déclassés.
No way, officer! These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
Viens appeler chez moi, je suis une merde comme ici, j'ai besoin de ces haut-parleurs.
Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Ouais, non, j'ai pas les moyens. Parle pour moi. Est-ce que t'as les choses à dire?
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here.
Qu'est-ce qui est impec?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
Huh.
You're very cool.
Bang, 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 bang. Qui a fait leur coup de feu. Non, je suis impec, je suis pas impec. Peu importe, gentil, impec ou non. J'ai question à poser dans le cadre d'une affaire policière.
You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead.
Comment de vous donner de l'argent?
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Eh, vous donnez-moi votre argent que ça saute.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
Pas trop, c'est tout ce qui m'est venu à l'esprit. J'ai besoin de gagner de l'argent.
Ah, yes. Money is very important.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
D'où venez-vous, Sealing?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
Vous n'êtes pas du coin, je me trompe?
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
Yeah, j'adore les abricots.
The apricot suzerainty is what the Sigai archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a fraught term, I'm sure you understand.
Okay.
No, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma used to grow them. But Sigai is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Sigai.
Well, if it's for his grandma, you should buy a lot of things.
Situation précaire, non. Toi, c'est un point de talent, ok. Juste un œil, donc on va prendre congé. Hop. Ok. Un peu intéressant. Non, c'est point de talent. J'ai rien à dépenser là, non. Ok. C'est rhétorique, il faut que j'augmente. Attends. Nouveau rhétorique. C'est ça, ok, ouais, putain. C'est l'intellect. Fuck. Ok. Ouais, j'ai vraiment pas de points là-dedans, fuck. Ok, ça c'est fait du coup. Vous donc, madame? Non, monsieur.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
La loi, c'est moi.
You sure are, my man.
Il se passe quoi, juste?
It's the jam, my man.
Un geste de la main pour indiquer l'ordre de camion, ça vous
It's a
chaîne?
traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days.
Ça fait combien de temps que vous trouvez d'être
Feels
ici?
like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Ah, curieusement, mais ça me va.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Il y avait des clopes?
Nope, don't smoke.
Regarde, c'est pas ce qu'il y a
Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You left the ask around elsewhere.
Bon, je vais m'enseigner.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird.
Il n'y a pas une pièce pour un travailleur?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
Qui ça? Il.
The bosses, man.
C'est pas question, c'est pas trop, mais c'est d'accord. Elle a l'air sacrément avantageux pour vous faucher comme les piliers. J'ai encore d'autres questions.
Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had, say, 4 myself.
Parle-moi de cette grève.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
Que veut le syndicat?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, A strike negotiator type. They know what's up.
Okay.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
Avec que veut
They
l'entreprise.
want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
Tout le monde.
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Pourquoi elle vous reste ici?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
Okay.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get
Ça
onto
quelque chose à
the
propos du
next one.
pendu là derrière l'hôtel?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries
Quelles
and
sont
their
vos
sad,
conclusions?
despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Et sinon, qu'est-ce que vous transportez?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him.
Je vois, mais qu'est-ce que vous transportez en vrai?
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately.
Vous pouvez me faire un cadeau d'un petit survêtement?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Rien d'illégal donc.
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Ok, j'ai une
The
question.
man taps his fingers rhythmically against his
Ça, c'est la
arm.
discussion à la prochaine.
Don't be a stranger.
Hey,
Qui ça, moi?
yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism
Ah, mais
again.
alors, d'où est-ce que ça sort
You
ça?
keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
J'ai peut-être dit d'autres trucs moyennement gauchistes, mais pas ça.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right
c'est
down
le
to it?
communisme.
Oh yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
Attends une seconde, tu avais pas parlé des pelotons
Too
d'exécution?
late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without
Ça
breaking a
fond les
few
manger,
million
respect à la
eggs.
frais. Leur réflexion. Économie sociale. Masoviste. Solution. Problème. Les gens pensent que le communisme était une idée saugrenue et ont connu un châtiment mérité il y a 40 ans. Une fièvre qui a bouleversé le monde, qui n'est jamais manifestement, il avait raison, jusqu'à ce qu'il se réveille aujourd'hui. Un corps spirituel ne le sent qu'aux camarades rouges, michetonneuses et aux crasses mazov. Pour lui, le communisme existe encore. Ça lui fera resserrer la commune de l'année 02 de la faille océanique. T'es endormi, un cours vert de fantômes et d'algues. Le grand architecte du communisme, soyez témoin de cette tentative de reconstruction du communisme en 51. Hop. Alors, factuel, ok. Projection analytique, moins 2, on dirait une réaction. Merde. Ah oui, non, on va pas faire ça du coup. C'est nul. On va essayer de voir si la meuf. Ah, tiens, t'es qui toi? Monsieur, bonjour. Il y a toujours une question d'argent, ça c'est, il faut dépenser de l'argent pour gagner du... Ok. On va essayer de voir si la meuf elle est sortie de sa douche, on peut lui parler. Hop.
The door is closed.
Un peu la forte, encore bien plus fort.
Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick... He doesn't like where this is going. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. The door sits sturdily in the frame, and your fist hurts. This was all a very good, normal thing to do.
Stop that.
Dommage. Hop. Pas de porte défoncée. Hop là. Ok, les personnages qui viennent en fonction des heures. Intéressant. Hop. On va aller voir par ici. Près des camions déjà, hop. Qu'est-ce donc ici? Ah. C'est quoi ça? Slogan sur Imanox, retrouve le camion, ok.
Yes?
Non, pas toi que je parlais, Kim, c'est la plaque que je vois.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Yes.
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
Okay.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
Qu'a donc fait son livre de raconter l'histoire du caractère?
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings,
Nice.
old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
C'est-à-dire?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury,
Ah oui.
starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol.
D'accord. Hop, continuez.
His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
Comment sait-il ce qu'il a arrangé pour dépuder le trésor national?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
Donc il était accro à la coco, un caméo transi.
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Ah oui, d'accord. Pied la tombe, d'accord. Où est-ce qu'il l'a enterré?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. Okay. A group of marble pleurants still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers.
Qu'est-il arrivé à la statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
Drôle d'idée.
People in Martinaise tend to agree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. With more nuanced social awareness, Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death.
Yes.
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of..." Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
Yes.
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads,
Ah,
not
oui,
a good...
putain, merde. Non, j'ai lu, ok, je suis en train de relire la même chose encore et encore. Oh. Instrument physique, débardeur blanc, ok. Comparé à ce que j'ai, chemise, conceptualisation, suggestion. Ouais. Hop, on va ça plus tard, hop. Oh, $1. J'ai rien, lunettes, chapeau. Non, ok. Bonjour vous. Vous êtes?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something
vomit,
on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's
Excusez-moi madame, j'ai des questions à vous poser.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Faire cliquer vos doigts sous son nez.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Pourquoi?
Why? I just told you why.
Si vous le dites. Se calmer, Kim, je... On interroge toutes les personnalités possibles, hein. On ne laisse pas de témoins derrière. Hop. Ça va bien me montrer ce qu'il y a dedans. J'ai vraiment l'air d'un déchet étranger plutôt... Ok. Des sous. Camion devrait certainement stocker du azote, mais ici ça, hein. L'alcool. Oula. Pourquoi il nous laisse pas entrer? Thune. On prend. Poubelle. Oh, attends. Magnésium moral plus un. Let's go. Magazine de musique populaire. Magazine tape à l'œil. Les hommes les plus esthétiques et les mots top. Ils sont tellement plus sexy que le beau gosse impressionné. Trop bête. Monsieur.
Welcome to Revachol.
Ah bah d'accord, camionneur raciste, bienvenue à Revachol, nous sommes de Suisse, pas vous, qui... Est-ce que vous parlez comme ça, mon collègue?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
The lieutenant's impassive mask has been replaced with intensity. He speaks not as a cop, but as a citizen. He is Vacholier, a Revacholian.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Kim en mode, tu vas te calmer le con, hein? Sinon je vais te casser la gueule.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Bien, je crois qu'on a tout tous appris quelque chose aujourd'hui, c'est vrai, au Canada. Non, cette histoire est réglée, on va pouvoir poser d'autres questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
Je vais trouver cette tasse un peu belle et montrer à l'homme, c'est à vous.
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
C'est à vous.
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
Pourquoi vous êtes pris... la gueule?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Ah ouais, c'est un bon gros connard.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
Vous êtes juste raciste, quoi. C'est aussi simple que ça.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it.
Quel connard!
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
On va changer d'avis si on parle d'autre chose.
Oh?
Essayez de ne pas pouvoir étaler sa science. Et je crois que je comprends le racisme. Non, je suis pas d'accord avec cette merde, tu peux aller te faire foutre. Si vous le dites, j'aimerais... je crois comprendre le racisme. Et non, je suis pas d'accord avec cette merde, tu peux aller te faire foutre.
Don't push your luck, Runt.
On a un dégoût, puis regarde d'ailleurs, on est en votre présence. Trop du cul, va. Quelque chose à dire, Kim?
Yes?
Ok, non, rien de plus. Friterie. Sec. Ok. Néon jaune par-dessus les tulipes.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, one bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol.
Alors, non, hein?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big fritta slogan on the back.
C'est quoi ça, montrer l'imperméable?
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Merde, je sais pas ce qu'il faut. On pop mécanique passe à radio. Hop.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
Ok. Non, c'est pour se soigner, ok. J'ai ce qu'il faut pour le moment, ça devrait
aller. A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Ça n'est pas fait pour un ancien.
Guess not, no.
Good thing you're an unrecovering alcoholic then.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
Don't ask. Don't look. Don't do anything here. Just go away. Know this. You will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
Oh putain de merde. Non. Non. Pas acheter.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
On continue. Parle-moi de Frit, c'est quoi juste?
I don't know. Frit?
Pourquoi il y a 3 T à Frit?
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
Tu lis quoi?
You mean this?
Deux jeunes filles en train de s'embrasser.
This is Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Mais ça, c'est quoi la police à la mode? Ça veut dire, mais ça, la peau, c'est très futuriste, très
She
futuriste.
pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum and nods. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half-smile.
Continuons, j'ai quelques questions à te poser.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Est-ce que Fried possède un entrepôt à l'arrière du wing, une rag?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
Donne-moi une piste, n'importe quoi.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Veux me dire à propos du cadavre?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
Tu connaissais l'homme qui a décédé?
Not really.
Pas vraiment, alors tu le connaissais un peu?
No. I didn't know him at all.
Tu connaissais... Tu savais combien de temps qu'il est accroché à cette
I
arme?
don't know, really long.
Ton avis, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay.
Merci. Tu veux me parler de la réalité dans laquelle nous sommes? Non. Hop. Kim qui est en mode oh putain, m'a fumé avec un boulet sans nom. Hop. Hop là.
Scab?
On a un petit peu regard. C'est quoi exactement au
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us.
Pas l'air de le porter
Everybody
dans ton
loses.
cœur.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Et vous essayez de leur parler?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Ouais, je suis un refus. Je n'ai pas le droit au travail. Ouais, je suis un flic, continuez.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop Scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
On vient enquêter sur un meurtre à Martinez.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Je suis en roue libre, j'ai un produit à fond. Peut-être veux-tu m'aider, à moins que qu'il l'a fait.
Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
Should we? He's nice. I don't like nice.
J'ai besoin d'aide avec un cadavre.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance.
Ça signifie que tu peux me laisser franchir la porte?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
Ça me que ça, j'entre les mains dans les poches.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office.
Tu nous as dit que ça va pas être aussi simple.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation. Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Quelqu'un a déjà vaincu dans une conversation physique?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Ouais. Et moi, je suis quelqu'un de charismatique, entre guillemets.
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
Et ce qu'un de ces refus ont essayé de convertir à sa vision du monde.
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Puis je fais le boulot si vous demandez. En Afrique, en ce moment, t'as pas de quoi m'aider?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
Je viens dans la direction. C'est de la taper. Allez.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyardero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Merci.
Right, always glad to help out the RCM. We're on the same branch, you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs.
Pourquoi c'est une grève au fait?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have...
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Ça peut avoir discuté avec toi, je vais y aller. Je vais juste fermer les volets, 2 petites secondes, je reviens. Là. Ok. On va redescendre. Hop. Il est écrit PIG, ok. On va parler avec le... On va faire une sauvegarde rapide. On peut rentrer là-dedans?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Examinez la vitre.
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
Quel genre d'autocollant ici?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
Pensez que c'est le camion du gros dur?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Ok. Je vais pas augmenter ça, non, je vais pas augmenter ça. Partir, hop. Inventaire, est-ce que je peux voir... Non, journal? Journal, ouais. Carte. Il faut que j'augmente... Projection analytique. Merde, c'est où? C'est là. Hop. Projection analytique, c'est où? C'est ça? Si la scène du crime est faite, appel au loi de la physique. Ok. Ah, vas-y, on va mettre ça là-dedans. Hop. Carte. Va être brisé. Ok. Intermédiaire. Ah merde, c'est mis sans encyclopédie. Ok, bon, pas grave. Prendre de pas dans la poussière intermédiaire. Ah oui, non, mais c'était ok, oui, c'était. Je vois que c'est. On va retourner voir les deux trucs. Hop, normalement. C'est ici, si je ne m'abuse. Hop. Ok, est-ce que je peux regarder?
There are several footprints in the mud,
Intermédiaire.
left by work boots. Wow, still not doing it. You're bad at this.
Don't beat yourself down. Neither can I. We'll have another look later.
Fuck.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eaten.
Dommage. Hop, on va aller voir la fenêtre brisée. Hop. Si on peut avoir des points en plus, c'est très bien, cool, hein. Allez, dépêche. J'ai 4 $, putain, il faut que j'ai 100 $ pour pouvoir dormir la nuit prochaine, c'est la merde. Ok. Hop. Oh, ça, je peux
The
refaire,
window
ouais.
stands broken in its frame. What do you mean? Assess the damage.
Oh, putain.
How?
Ah, je suis mauvais.
The door is closed. This door can only... Still nothing. The lieutenant, he doesn't like where this is going. You should punch a fucking hole in it. The murmur in your ear.
Ok. On va pas lâcher un sale pute. Ça, tu te caches, enculé. Viens là. Hop. Hop. Bon. Les 2 G que je pouvais débloquer avec les trucs, j'ai raté. C'est dommage. Hop là.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Que ce soit ici.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
Passe tout le monde une bonne tête, ok.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Pourquoi je fais un truc pareil?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Je crois bien que non.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side.
Quel genre de cause?
Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
Je ne pense pas avoir choisi de camp.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Quoi qu'il en soit, j'ai quelques questions à vous poser.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Aussi rentrer dans le port.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
J'interroge les gens sur un meurtre qui s'est passé pas loin d'ici à l'hôtel, la cafétéria là-bas.
I know nothing about a murder.
Et laconique.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him.
Interesting.
What are you talking about? I'm not tense.
Yes, he's tense and dangerous. Somewhere below it all.
Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Oui, pourquoi pas.
Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter.
Pity. Let us work!
Qui sont tous ces briseurs de grève? Regarde autour.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Bon, je vais te demander d'où vous venez.
What's it to you?
Non, de chaque syllabe. Juste simplement que... J'essaie de comprendre cette grève, c'est le bazar.
Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
J'ai bien compris, si m'intéresse votre passé.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
Mineur ou ça, je passe pas le temps dans les bars, je connais peut-être.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Ouais, je crois bien que je suis déjà allé.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Ah, c'est quoi votre objectif exactement?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
Vous incapable de forcer l'entrée?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mesk punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Oh, vous n'allez pas simplement leur parler.
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge.
Je crois que je vais partir. Ok, on va aller parler avec les... Penseurs du grand jeu. Ok. Oh, notre Kanga appuie sur le bouton derrière les dispositifs de sécurité. La porte est hermétiquement fermée grâce à un système électronique. Essayez de projeter et de défoncer cette porte. Ok, on va faire une petite sauvegarde, hop.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
On traduit votre dégénérescence.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
On dirait continuer de l'évaluer.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
Du coup, c'est muscles de travers si vous laissez les
It
regarder.
must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me.
Bon, ben le torse ne veut rien dire.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your
Oh, je peux même pas faire le beau, putain!
And you feel your blood pressure rise.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
Mon corps n'est pas important, je suis policier, on doit entrer dans le sport.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul.
De dégoût quand il... comme s'il sentait un rat mort.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Attendez, Al Ghul?
Yes, Al Ghul.
Mais que signifie Al Ghul?
Al Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you, for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Vous voulez parler d'alcool?
Correct, my small skull servant.
Aucun problème dans le goût du piole, suffit, j'ai besoin que vous décrochiez ce qu'elle a, mauvais porte.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it.
Je pense qu'elle a descendu du champ, on n'a pas descendu. Je suis la police et j'ai besoin de coopération sur le champ. J'ai besoin que vous me mettiez à faire mon travail. Je suis la police et j'ai besoin de votre coopération sur le champ.
Jerking motions. Signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor. This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
Raison, cela dit, maintenant que j'ai juste besoin que vous m'aidiez à décrocher le cadavre de l'arme. Ce sont les vôtres qui ont mis le cadavre là-haut, ce sont les vôtres qui devraient m'aider à décrocher. Vous avez raison, sur la ligne. Non, j'ai juste besoin, ce sont les vôtres qui ont mis ce cadavre là-haut, ce sont les vôtres... Allez, j'ai juste besoin que vous reculiez d'une vingtaine de centimètres.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
This is your chance. He's talking. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate.
Pas d'accord. Conceptualisation. Adhérer à des races, avancer des races. Que c'est au propos du montrer le tatouage, je veux dire quoi. Non, conception, aider à théoriser.
Go ahead. Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets.
Putain, je suis nul à tout! Je vais apprendre vos théories sur la race. Pourquoi nous ne puissions pas devenir amis ici de ce parce que mon cerveau a besoin de vos théories. C'est imprenez-moi.
Inane popular culture lingo. It is intellectually uninteresting to sock anything to an infant such as you.
Vous êtes au service du syndicat, non? Les membres ne sont-ils pas blancs?
Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Peut-être, mais vous êtes toujours à la botte du syndicat, ça compte ça?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Je ne suis pas communiste!
Of course you are, Revacholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world order is the core of your race fate. all around you the fruits of its defeat. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted disease, above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
Je dis que je n'étais pas communien encore, mais j'ai monté, mais je ne suis moins certain de ça.
Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The conversation has moved on. Tell me, what degenerate subculture has made you dress in this shameful way?
La culture des jeunes n'affecte pas mon processus de pensée.
Of course it does. You are a degenerate individualist and a rock and roll rebel. A pawn of international finance.
Tu veux m'appeler Johnny Silverhand, enculé?
Your ham-colored race. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Semines race.
Ça, vraiment, qui sont les Semines? Ça, on se souvient. Question. Qui sont les Semines?
The South Island race. Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you.
Okay.
We are the future.
On grandit dans les
That
îles avant de
is
déménager
all
à
you need to know.
les Vacholes.
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Semines women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
Alors vous ne venez pas des îles?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
Ça aurait été pas sur cet angle de recherche. Ouais. Donc vous n'êtes pas vraiment Semines, vous êtes juste Vacholes.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simony strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world.
Oui, oui.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. And never getting that dead body down from the tree.
Qu'est-ce que c'est au propos de ce mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
C'est votre genre de truc?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Qui me pensez quoi de tout ça?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
Oh, vous savez qu'il y a... Comment vous savez qu'il doit y avoir un autre raciste?
There always is.
Race is reality.
Ouais, tatouage, je vais le dire quoi?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Êtes-vous certain que je ne suis pas craniométriquement supérieur?
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation.
Ça suffit.
You do not wish to be judged, because you are a genetic blob of polycultural deformities. This is understandable.
Just like that, instinct took over.
Oh putain.
A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sounds of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip. He's open. Rip into him. Right hook. Escalate it. Get intimate with him. Bring the hurt closer.
Oh, c'est ça, garde avec un crochet du droit. Oh fuck.
Oh God. Wrong move. Your head is in his hands, like a pair of forceps crushing you, and you can feel every jewel.
Say it. I am a degenerate drunk.
Take the pain, goddammit. At least take that.
Une police à l'aide.
Even under the increased force on your skull, there is no pain. Just the sound of your own blood gushing in there, feeding your mind with oxygen.
You are a poor player of physical chess.
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
Pas moyen d'aller là, non. C'est chaud, je caboche. Ah, fuck. Vous avez des choses à dire,
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians, because that won't get us anywhere.
Ouais.
I'm not even sure the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that Hulk.
C'est lui qui essaie de me provoquer, d'accord, j'essaie de faire je ne me battais pas contre des mauvaises idées, il peut on passer les portes sinon.
There must be some other way. Let's go see the yard again. It faces the other end of the harbor. We're done with Measurehead here. Let's think of something else.
No. You should do it again. It's the last thing he'll be expecting.
Est-ce qu'on peut pas lui dire d'aller casser la gueule, lui?
Nice aggression with the native. Don't let the chief fool you next time. You don't need to be that up in his face. Leave yourself space to move.
Not bad advice, actually. This might do the trick.
Let's talk about our right to work.
J'ai quelque chose à te dire, toi. Casser les gueules.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Fuck.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it. It hurts.
You must be out of your mind.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain as he's twisting it more and more.
The words to the song.
Your hand twists in his grip, and the pain blinds you. Still, you press the words out of your swollen mouth.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
Attends, est-ce que je peux recharger? Quick save, charger. Je vais lui fracasser sa gueule. J'ai envie de réussir. Hop.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Je veux lui casser sa gueule. Ouais, ça va, les quick save ils sont assez rapides à recharger. C'est bien, c'est pas comme sur Peter Smith. Je veux lui casser sa gueule.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Putain, j'arrive pas à les jet de dés. Hop. Je vais essayer de lui casser sa gueule et après d'arrêter là l'épisode pour aujourd'hui, je pense.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
J'avais 17% de chance.
Really let yourself go.
Et là je réussis pas, genre... putain. Putain, je suis sûr que j'aurais un mec full physique, je réussirais tous les trucs mentaux, je réussirais tous les trucs physiques. Et là, genre les premiers...
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
J'ai envie de crever. J'ai envie de lui casser sa gueule. J'ai réussi un 17% avant terrifiant, genre là c'est intermédiaire, j'y arrive pas, genre... C'est littéralement t'as un DC20, non, tu n'y arrives pas. Tu as un DC30, tu arrives.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Ce qui est bien, c'est qu'on voit Kim qui met sa main dans sa poche pour tenter de se préparer à tirer au cas où. J'ai mal au nez.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Je sais pas si c'est obligatoire de rater.
Really let yourself go.
How did this happen?
1 et 2. Est-ce que ça fait toujours 1 et 2? Genre... C'est juste moi qui ai vraiment pas de chance, genre...
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Just like that, instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his... The man is reeling. God, all you hear is a small gurgling sound as a...
Oh!
The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To your left is the button. As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses entirely, his head rolling to the side.
Let's go.
Looks like you're the new measurehead now.
Her voice is surprisingly calm.
No one is the new measurehead. Let's go, before he gets...
Let's go.
The man is still knocked.
Ok. Bah, let's go. Un point pour augmenter votre volonté. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a par ici? Soit que tu chaque travailleur, ok. Ok. C'est quoi ça? Bref, regarde, c'est un spectacle livre d'inventaire, les butons interagir, ok.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Volonté.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Regardez.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Regarde qui me note avec une liste de choses à faire.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes. All items on the list. The drawer slides shut.
Okay.
Lonesome. Long way home.
Affliction, retour sur ta maison.
Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Okay. Solution. Bonus d'interrogation temporaire, moins 2 projections durant une action. Terroriser. Oh putain, il y a beaucoup de trucs à terroriser. Est-ce qu'on terrorise? Arrêtez. On peut oublier. Pas de talent suffisant, ok. Terrain géant.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of... To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after rifling the pages with your thumb. The magazine is divided into several sections. International development. Comrade, as you know, this journal, but like the structures, so please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, you flip back to the front of the magazine.
Okay. Ouais. Carte postale, on prend, hop. Quelqu'un a laissé la machine à café allumée. Hop. Moral, on prend, hop. Projection analytique, art dramatique. Ouais. Hop.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at...
Ah non, on va déjà parler avec le mec en bas, puis on va s'arrêter là je pense aujourd'hui. J'ai un petit mal de crâne qui se commence. Voilà. C'est impossible de l'ouvrir côté sans badge. Fuck. S'enfermer, quel con.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on... This is your cloak. You can feel it.
Yes, it does bear the RCM insignia. And we are the only detectives. The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your finger. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
Okay. Esprit de corps, c'est quoi esprit de corps frisson? Ok. Ok. Pas moyen d'accéder au toit, non. Hop. Y'a pas moyen d'en monter. aller parler avec les mecs à l'extérieur d'abord. Bon. On va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. On aura bien avancé. Sauvegarde, sauvegarder. Hop. Donc il craque. On s'aura fait 5 $ aujourd'hui, incroyable. Il est 18h. Donc là, menu principal, confirmé. Ah. Ouais, non, c'est cool en vrai, l'histoire est haute, tous les choix possibles et hautes, comme on est nul, comme on est une merde humaine, c'est incroyable. Ça fait plaisir en tout cas. Bon, s'il y a encore du monde, je vous dis la bonne fin d'après-midi, la bonne soirée, bon appétit, et puis la prochaine pour plus de Risk of Rain, Disco Elysium, et je suis en Baldur's Gate, à vous voir. Allez, des bisous, et à la prochaine. Alors, mettez le stream.